reading some books.
You need to invest in some for dummies. Just get like
Dude, if I find a dinosaur for dummies, then I'll probably learn a lot more than I know right
scoop
now.
that up.
Yeah, dude. So here we go. We got Baco versus Desire. Ken main in Desire. I really don't recall ever seeing this character much outside of, I guess, Broken maybe sometimes. Which has been a little while since we've seen him. And ever since then, yeah, I don't think I ever really see Ken's. I know this is another one of those characters with like the crazy burst options and the things that they could do to you really quickly and like at a moment's notice. So we'll see if Desire has some of that on deck. Is going to have to be a little bit patient with Pac-Man, though, which is what Baco is deploying here. Pac-Man could definitely be a handful, as you can see. With I didn't even see which ghost that was, but I'm just going to say Blinky.
I think Blinky is the red one. I think you're correct.
Nice.
Either way, it's like... It's so hard to mess with Pac-Man in so many ways. Because, yeah, like... Ken's got really great combos, and most of them are just true, so he can buffer a lot of his inputs, and they just kind of work. The problem kind of being, how do you get your first hit? How do you get your starter? Pac-Man keeps you out forever, and then once you get in, things like Pac Neutral Air stuff you out, and you're back where you started. So you may have to start employing the Street Fighter classic of run up Shoryu to catch jumps, because, hey, like, he's trying to keep away from you so much, might as well try and call him out. But, I mean, Pac-Man's such an enigma that you kind of have to focus on playing against the player and not necessarily the character in a lot more instances.
Yeah, dude, it's really hard to... Like, Pac-Man is just really kind of a character of his own. To say the least. There's just a lot of things you got to keep in mind from the obvious setups, or, you know, knowing that there's going to be some setups there. The fact that all those fruits do something a little different, including that apple going right down on that 45-degree angle. And the fact that Pac-Man just has really good boxing buttons, too. Like, you don't really want to be close up hitting buttons against Pac-Man either, because his buttons are not bad. They're fast, and they could do enough damage. You might not have the most knockback, but enough to keep you away. So that is definitely something you got to keep in mind. Just like I'm sure Desire's trying to keep in mind, you know, what is the way to hit him, to kill him. I guess it's Shoryu. Found it.
Everyone jumps. Everyone jumps in this game, and especially against Ken, because they are like all the FGC characters play linearly. Like when you're at the same plane, at the same horizontal, they're super scary. It's like down. You have to worry about like down tilt and Tatsu and like infinitely other buttons. But like if you're gonna call out jumps, might as well do it something that kills. And Ken Shoryu's a beast, man. That's unfortunate. Missing a pretty big window there because the hydrant water. Like even still, that unconscious like existence, that entity of the hydrant, it's just such a... It's taxing. It's taxing because you have to figure out how to deal with it and when to deal with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It really does change your position a lot. And a lot of times, if you got sort of a thing you're trying to do, there's a good chance that it might interrupt you. And honestly, with each percent Desire takes, gets a little worse, not for the obvious reasons where you get closer to death, but because a lot of the confirms that you'd otherwise have as Ken are just not available if you got too much rage. And I don't know, this has really been a struggle for Desire to really just get a couple reliable hits. Like, this is a combo character in Ken, so if you're not able to really hit combos, trying to find the spare hits is very frustrating. But
it's the first grab we've seen in a while. I mean, most of the time his approaches have been like full hop landing there or full hop double jump landing there. Oh.
Yeah, that was a shame, because honestly, I think at that percent too, probably assure you away from a stock, and that would have been, once again, the stray hit that Desire may have needed. But now you're already seeing Baco tack on 56%. Just a matter of moments, make that 73.
He's waiting. He's waiting for the defensive option that Baco finally spot dodges and gets punished. But most of the time, like, Baco's been playing out of shield. He's been counter hitting a ton, and that's all you really need to do to keep Ken out, because Pac-Man can play offensively while he's being defensive. Like it just puts so much pressure on you to maximize all of your interactions, and it looks like Desire's kind of folding to the pressure a little bit. He's trying to force things now. Yeah, he's in full sprint mode.
Yeah, he's kind of just running through, and I can't blame him. Like, I understand. This is definitely one of those times where you just get a little frustrated. And even that neutral getup was a little bit risky, because sometimes when Pac-Man leaves a trampoline there, they literally will just wait on the platform, so you hop up and they just F-smash you. But finally finding a little bit of wiggle room here. I would not call it wiggle room, but at least a little bit of a closer step forward towards possibly taking the game here. I don't really know. Desire's going to have to go to game 2 to continue the set. So
that's kind of just a reset position. Like, especially, like, you're at 150, you can't get hit by the hydrant, so you jump from ledge to an air dodge to avoid said hydrant, just careening at you at the speed of sound. Like,
yeah, it is. It's a lot to manage playing against Pac-Man. Equally so, when you're playing Pac-Man, like, you have a lot to manage as well. So kudos to Baco for really controlling that entire first game 1. I think probably had Desire at the very least a little bit frustrated. I don't know if we're going to see character swap or maybe just a big deep breath coming in for Desire. At the very least, a stage switch. I don't really know what you want to use or what you want to go against, like a Pac-Man in this particular case. I don't know if additional platforms are helpful or not, or bigger blast zones, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Like Pac sets up walls real good, and he keeps you out real good, so having platforms to mix up landing options and to mix up, like, ways of being offensive is solid. Going to town might be helpful, because most of the time, like, you're never worried about Shoryuken killing, and you get more kill tools thanks to the roundhouse kick and what is it, like, heavy jab, I think it's called, the like straight punch. Like, those start killing a little bit earlier, so maybe town is the way to go here. But I don't know, like, picking a big stage against Pac's not great, but giving Pac extra platforms on Smash 4 to juggle you, like, isn't great either. He does go to FD. You know, maybe he knows something I don't, but it's...
Yeah, I would think this is probably not your best bet, mostly just because you're... Now you don't really have any escape from not only the hydrant, but just other weird stuff, but... We'll see. This also could just be a comfort pick, man. I sometimes just think a flat stage for some is just something that people are literally just more comfortable with. A little bit less to manage. You don't got to think about the platforms, especially if, like, Desire's feeling a little bit overwhelmed with some of what Baco's throwing. Then, you know, maybe this is just a way to well, okay. I was figuring he was going to try and ride the trampoline, didn't need it. But yeah, so maybe that's just a way to mitigate that. Like, one less thing to sort of have to be like, okay, am I going to expect an apple on the head this time? Because that happened to him in the last game. Instead, just straightforward. Tatsu is a really good move, so maybe just trying to get some more mileage out of that on the just one layer of play. Or one level of play.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of harkening back to the character's roots, right? As long as Ken can keep you slightly in front of him, it's better for Ken. Mm-hmm. And there's nowhere to run for Baco. There's nowhere to go to. There's no place to hide under. It's just pure and simple. Like, if I can hit you, I'll kill you, or at the very least do a lot of damage. However, the same kind of goes for Baco. And Hydrant is such a beast, and this is where a stage like this is where Hydrant makes its money.
Yeah, I mean, I really agree. This is, you know, it's what am I trying to say here? It's just because it's comfortable, you know what I mean? Like, it's Pac-Man just has too much, and especially with how linear he is too. Even like the F smashes, like, everything's just in your face. But either way, Desire is going to clear out that first stock. A little bit late, kind of similar to last game. At least an additional stock to work with, despite the 8%. But oh wow, okay. So Baco wasn't able to get anything off of that, but still was able to fire that the bell or the jello, whatever that is.
It's a bell. The jello.
It looks like jello. I mean, I know some people think it's flan. I feel like jello's like flan's cousin or something. So,
feel that.
Right, yeah, and it's like yellow, like, you know, yellow jello.
A little bit denser, a little bit sweeter.
Yeah, it is a bell. Jesus.
206 though, like you're living a long time, which gives that extra fear factor of hey, like Ken with rage is nothing to sneeze at. The problem is the approach options for Ken are so straightforward. Like he can Tatsu, which is risky at best. He can short hop Nair, and he can full hop Nair. Like that's kind of, or he can run up and down tilt you, I guess. But it's a lot of the things that Pac-Man's toolkit just kind of auto deals with. Like Nair covers all of this, forward air covers all of this. Like their Tatsu's not on the table as long as there's a hydrant between them. But getting that hit doesn't, like how you get that hit doesn't necessarily matter a lot of times, and Desire's been a little bit more offensive. That's cheeky. Like he was off screen.
You know, Desire has done a good job closing the gap here, and I feel like he was in a position to actually take out Baco. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find it, but I was just about to say he's not too far out of it, but as I'm saying that, he's now literally a full stock behind. And this is the thing, dude. Like, Pac-Man just has a way of accumulating damage on you if you're not careful. And that's literally what happened with Desire. That was a great focus attack. Just, it's, you know, once Pac-Man's out there, like, he has a lot of ways to stay out there. A lot more than Ken. So that was really well played by Baco. Totally smothering Desire in that last little bit that we got to see. And
super prolonged edge guard. Like, that was just really solid. Kind of playing around the focus attack because it's kind of the only option Ken has to get around off stage pressure. It's like I'm gonna focus through it, but the 2 hits on the like super pellet and then 4 hits of down air. Not much for Ken to do besides air dodge, but he already used his jump, so an air dodge was also a death sentence.
Yeah, it's rough, dude. It is kind of rough out here for Shotos when it comes to being off stage. But that's the characters. That's the design. It makes sense. There's characters that are worse off stage, even if your recovery's still bad.